Hello and welcome. My name is Patrick. I'm the station manager for Simsbury Community Media, and this is Field Kit 101. In this video, we will go over the basics of how to use your SCM Field Kit. First, we're going to start with the tripod. Unzip the tripod bag and take the tripod out. To set up your tripod, unfold the legs and place it on the ground. If you find the tripod head is folded back and locked, unlock it by using the dial on the same side as the handle. Move the tripod head so it's parallel with the ground. Turn the dial back to the locked position. Remember, do not force the tripod, because this will break it. If you're getting too much resistance, loosen the knob more before you try to adjust anything. This applies to all the other equipment as well. To adjust the height of the tripod, release the brackets on the legs and lock them back in place once the legs are extended. It's best to start with the uppermost brackets, as this will keep the tripod sturdier. Next, we're going to balance the tripod. This is so your video will look level in playback. To check if your camera is balanced, look at the bubble level. This is the green circle on the head of the tripod. When the tripod is balanced, the bubble will be in the center of the black circle. To adjust the level, adjust the length of each leg until the bubble sits in the center of that black circle. Now that your tripod is balanced, you're ready to mount the camera. This camera is called the Canon XA40. It's a camcorder that is very reliable and we send out with all our field kits. On the bottom of the camera, you'll find what we call a shoe. This is how the camcorder attaches to the tripod. Slide the shoe into the tripod head. You'll hear a click once it's properly inserted. Once you hear the camera click into place, adjust the shoe so that it's sitting in the middle of the tripod head. Next, you'll want to lock your camera in place. This is an important step because it keeps the XA40 from sliding off the tripod. The lock is located on the right side of the tripod head. To tighten it, you turn the knob away from you. Before you start filming, you may want to adjust the handle on the tripod. To do this, turn the dial on the top of the handle towards you to loosen the handle. Adjust the angle to however you feel most comfortable. When tightening the knob, make sure the little grooves or teeth line up against each other so the grooves fit in. Now, there are two more dials on the tripod that can be adjusted according to personal preference. These are the pan and tilt controls. At the base of the tripod head, you'll see a red dial labeled Fluid Drag System. This controls how easily the tripod allows you to pan the camera from side to side. Turning the dial towards the plus sign will increase the resistance. This makes the camera pan slower. Turning the dial towards the minus sign decreases the resistance and allows the camera to pan quicker. The red dial on the left of the tripod head will adjust the tilt resistance. This is how the camera points up and down. Turning this dial towards the plus will make the camera tilt much stiffer. Turning the dial towards the minus will make tilting much quicker. Now that you have the tripod all set up, let's go over basic camera operation. First, you'll want to remove the lens cap. To do this, locate the switch on the left-hand side of the camera. It's on the front. Flip this switch and the lens cover will flip open. It's a very handy feature. To turn the camera on, locate the switch labeled Camera Off Media. This is on the top rear left side of the camera. Press and slide the switch forward from the middle off position to the camera position. You'll see the lights on the camera turn on. Flip open the screen. This is our viewfinder located on the left side of the camera to monitor the camera's video feed. On this screen, you'll see what the camera's seeing, as well as the battery life of the camera, the audio levels, and if you're recording or not. Before you record, make sure the camera is fully charged. You can plug the charging cable into the camera by moving aside the black flap on the rear right side of the camera. Plug the charging cable into this hole. Don't leave the camera in a cold environment though, or any SCM equipment. This will drain the battery life. My general rule of thumb is you shouldn't leave your electronic equipment anywhere you wouldn't leave a child. All the settings on the camera will be automatic. This way, you won't have to worry about exposing the image or the audio levels. In case the camera isn't set to the automatic modes, this is where they're located. To turn the video to automatic settings, locate the switch on the top right of the camera next to the zoom toggle. Flip this switch over from M to auto. For the audio, tap the function button on the bottom left corner of the viewfinder screen. Tap the button that appears to look like a music note. Make sure the A at the bottom of the screen is orange. The camera itself has an internal microphone located towards the front of the camera. This is what it looks like. The microphone will capture sound. However, if you're filming an event with a public speaker, or even if you're near a noisy environment, you're going to want to use a separate microphone. Usually, we use Sennheiser Lavalier microphones. This is what they look like. They come in a set of two. One is the microphone, this is the transmitter. It will wirelessly send the audio feed to this device. It's the receiver. The receiver is what gets plugged into the camera via the XLR audio input. To set up the Sennheiser wireless lavaliers, you'll want to attach the receiver, again, that's this one, to the cold shoe on the Canon camcorder. The cold shoe is located on the top middle near the handle of the camera. The receiver will just slide into it. To lock the receiver in place, turn the thumb screw until you feel it tighten. Now, take the XLR cable from the receiver and plug it into input 1, located on the top right-hand side of the camera. On the opposing side of where we just plugged in that XLR input, you'll see a few dip switches. To ensure the camera is operating on the automatic settings, there's a few dip switches listed, M for manual and A for automatic. Make sure there's flipped to A for automatic. Additionally, there's another switch labeled on and off. This is what turns on input 1 and input 2. Make sure this switch is flipped to on. This tells the camera to receive audio from the lavalier. Next, we're going to turn the microphone and the receiver both on. First, press in on both tabs on the lavalier and pull the door open. To turn on the devices, hold down the on-off button on the left until the screen turns on. To test if the microphone is picking up sound, look at the channel 1 and 2 audio bars on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. When sound is coming through, you'll see the level of these bars rise and fall. If you're filming an event where people will be speaking at a podium, you want to take the microphone, the lavalier microphone, and tape it to the microphone on the podium. Make sure that head of the microphone is pointed in the direction of the speaker's mouth. That way you'll get the clearest audio quality. For something like a sit-down interview, you'll want to clip the microphone inside your subject's collar, facing towards their mouth. Make sure to have them run the cable underneath their shirt to hide it from view. It's also a good idea to check and monitor the sound using headphones. You can plug the headphones into the XA40 by gently moving the input cover on the front right side of the camera. Insert the headphone plug into the output next to the headphone symbol. If you hear sound coming through your headphones and it sounds good to you, then you're ready to record your video. To record, press the red button located on the right side of the camera. When the camera is recording, you'll see a red dot appear on the top of the display screen. You'll also see a red tally light on the top right of the XA40 camera. If there's no red dot or red light, then the camera is not recording. When you are done recording, press the red record button again to stop the video recording. Remember to close the lens cap by flipping the switch on the lens cover to close it. To release the camera from the tripod, press the gray release button on the bottom left side of the tripod and slide it out. To break down the tripod, Move the handle back to the downward position by releasing the knob on the top of the handle. Then move the handle so it's pointing downwards. When you tighten the handle back in place, make sure the grooves of the teeth fit back in the opposing indents. To retract the legs of the tripod, undo the latches on the legs and push the legs back in. When they're shortened all the way, fasten the latches again. Then put the tripod back in the tripod bag. When putting away equipment, it's important to always be gentle. Do not force any part of the equipment to move in a way it doesn't want to. When packing away cables, make sure to wrap them with the way the cable naturally folds. Place all the camera equipment back in the bag as you found it. Congratulations, you just successfully covered your first field event as an SCM volunteer. Thank you so much for watching Field Kit 101. If you'd like to learn more in-depth information about advanced camera operations, functions of the tripod, or advanced sound tips, watch the videos linked in the description. Thank you so much for being a volunteer, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.